Okay, our title today is Powerful -1. It is powerful. And you will see that in just a moment. All right, so here's our first example. Now, so that's minus, or you think of that's actually negative. Negative 2x plus 4. Before we go any further, let's review the rules for dealing with multiplying. Remember, if it's they're both positive, it's positive. If there's one negative, it's negative. But if they're both negative, it's positive. Think of the light switches. Either they're both on and they're both off, it's positive. But if one of them's down, if one of them's negative, it's negative. Those are the rules for multiplying. What many people seem to forget is that this is the same thing as -1. There's our -1, and we'll distribute that over the other two numbers. So -1 times -2, 2x. 1 times 2 is 2, it's 2x, and two negatives cancel. All right, then we have -1 times +4. 1 times 4 is 4, and there's one negative. So that means it'll be negative. And that is now simplified. Now notice what happened. We multiply by -1. Notice this was negative, now it's positive. That was positive, now it's negative. It changes its polarity. So before, this was a very cold -2, right? Now it's hot. This was hot, 4, now it's cold. You're changing cold to hot and hot to cold. You're changing the polarity. You're changing the sign. As I'm doing these, I'm going to try and do 5 problems along one side, and then 5 problems on the other side. Okay, here's number 2. So that's negative, or you can think of it as being minus. And that's x minus 5. So remember, there are invisible ones on here. So for example, this is a -1 right here. And that's like a 1x. So now let's go ahead and take the outside times each one inside. So 1 times 1 is just 1. So it's 1x. And you don't even have to put the 1 if you don't want to. And there's one negative, so it's negative. So -1x or just -x. One times 5 is 5. And two negatives, multiplying two negatives, cancels. And there's our answer. So again, notice what it did. It changed the polarity. This was positive 1x, now it's -1x. This was -5, now it's +5. It changed the sign. This one's a little longer. We'll have to combine like terms. So you have 5x plus 9 minus this, 2x minus 7. So remember, we have to do distributive property, and there is a -1 right there. So take the outside times the inside. -1 times each one of these. right? And doesn't it just change the sign, right? It just changes the sign. So this is negative 2x, and this will be positive 7. And then I have this right here. I'll have to combine these right here. I'm going to rewrite this. You don't have to rewrite it, but I'm going to rewrite it. So I have all this to put together, combining like terms. Now in combining like terms, if you remember before, it's like this. If you have one positive, one negative, it cancels. It's no taste. It's like putting mince and something spicy on your tongue. All right? So if you have a bunch of mince, 3 mince and 2 mince, you just add it up. That's 5 mince. If you have 5 mince and 5 cool and 3 hot, remember that it does cancel, and you are left with 2 cold, 2 mint. So you, in other words, you have to use 0 pairs. Think of 0 pairs if they're different. So think of the tongue. So let's put together the x's. 5x and negative 2x. That's just 5 minus 2. 5 and negative 2 is just 3x. And then I have positive 9 and positive 7. Oh, 9 and 7. That's just 16. This will be another longer one, just like before. Except for one other thing. One thing I did not do, and you will see this on these other problems, is they like to make it look complex, and so they will put parentheses like that. Now this is the same problem as we did before. The only difference is they put parentheses around here, and it really isn't needed, but you'll see it a lot. Okay, there's nothing to do right here. As a matter of fact, I could just bring that down. And then over here, this is a negative 1. So you take the outside times the inside, or you already know what to do, right? You already know that it just changes the sign. This is going to be not positive 2x, but negative 2x, because that's a power of negative 1. It's very powerful. And this is not negative 8, it's going to be just positive 8. All right, now we can combine like terms. So again, think of putting things on your tongue. So let's see, I have a 6x and a minus 2x. 6 minus 2 is 4. Then I have negative 10, this is my constants, negative 10 and 8. Again, if you have 10 mints and 8 spicy things, there's more mints. 2 more. And that is the answer. So it is now simplified. That's all you can do. You cannot combine these. They are not like terms. So we have 2x plus 4, and this is in parentheses, minus negative x plus 5. Okay, well this is just the same. And then this is your negative 1. And remember, this changes all of this other stuff. It changes their sign. So this is no longer a negative x. When I multiply this, it's no longer a negative x. It's going to be a positive x plus 1x, actually. You can put a 1 there if you want to. You don't have to draw a 1. And then this is not positive 5, but it's negative 5 or minus 5. That's the power of negative 1. It changes the sign. All right, now I combine like terms. And let's see what I have. I have a 2x and a 1x, right? That's a 1x. 2x and positive 1x, 2 and 1 makes 3. Then I have a 4, positive 4, and a negative 5. Now this is going on the tongue. 4 hot, 5 cold. You're still going to have some cold, some mint. Whoops, by 1. Right? That's 3x minus 1. Okay, I'm going to write something on the top of the paper. Do the same. This way you'll just can glance at it and can remember. And it's this. When multiplying, and I'm going to abbreviate because that's what I do. So when multiplying, it being negative 1, it changes the signs. It changes the signs. Right? That's a powerful negative 1. That's what it does. When you multiply, it changes the sign. From positive to negative. From cats to dogs. Now that we've done 5 problems together, you're going to go ahead and do 5 other ones on your own to the side. And let me go ahead and list those out for you. And you can just do them on the same paper right to the side, if you have room. Okay, so here are the remaining 5 problems. If you're at home doing this, forget about 9 and 10. You don't need to, but just concentrate on the first 3, 6, 7, and 8. This is optional for those who are at home. Okay, during the COVID time, these are optional. You don't need to do those. But 6, 7, and 8, this is what we need to do. So I'll leave it up there for a minute. You can always pause the video